Hey everyone, welcome back to Always Broken. Today we're going to be looking at a Ring wired doorbell, and this is something that you would put on the front of an existing house that's already got a standard doorbell with power coming to that location. Now it's kind of nice as opposed to a battery powered one that would have to be charged every so often, and we can utilize the existing power that's already there.
Okay, so after you turn the breaker off to your panel, you'll pull the cover off your doorbell. Usually they just lift straight up. They're just kind of hanging there because of this little slot on the top. And then what you got to do is determine which terminal is which. So this doorbell is kind of fancy and has some lights. The top one is the common. And if you look back behind there, I don't know if you can see it, it says common. And then the next one down says transformer. The next one down says two chime, or sometimes it'll say front door. And the last one is the single chime or the back door. Usually those aren't wired into people's houses. But what the Ring camera wants you to do is put this little resistor jumper between the transformer and the front door. So we'll go ahead and do that now. All right, so we got the resistor between transformer and front door, or also called the 2-note. So we're all done in here. All right, so this part, this little tab will just fit kind of behind. Almost all doorbells are like this, where it just kind of goes up on the wall and then slides down. Yep. Okay, so the next step is to remove the existing doorbell. So this should just pull straight out. And back here you can see the two wires that we will be connecting to the new Ring doorbell. You can see that with the previous doorbell switch, they put plastic inserts in like they have right here. And again, the spacing kind of between these two might not line up. Okay, so now we're going to install the Ring doorbell itself. It comes with this little bezel on the outside, and to get it out you sort of grab the edge and then push through, and you can kind of just get the center out. So now we got the bezel off, put that in my pocket. It's got these two screw terminals on the back that we're going to land these wires on from the old doorbell. So take the screwdriver out here. It doesn't matter which polarity you've got here, you can do either side. So there's one wire. For this part you still want the power off, just because in case these two wires touch you could short them out. Looks like they wrapped it around. Okay, so the old doorbell's off. Looks like some spiders made their home out of that. We'll set that down here for now. Okay, so we want the camera up on top, so we'll kind of just roll it over this way. I will loosen up one of these screws. Typically it's best to make the hook go kind of clockwise, so as you tighten it, it doesn't try and force the little loop you've got there out. So it's going around clockwise. I'll tighten it down. And you'll see as you tighten it, it kind of pulls it under a little more. Looks like I didn't quite get it there. You want like most of the wire underneath, if you can, underneath the head of the screw, so there isn't any chance of shorting out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we got the wire looped around. I'm gonna kind of give it a little pinch. And then now I can try and get the screw in. And I just need a little more length with that. Okay. Okay, I got those all tightened in. You want to make sure that this wire, when you stuff it back in there, doesn't somehow cross over and touch that other side. So I'm going to kind of bend it out of the way. You can see this wire's, the insulation's kind of been stripped back farther than I would like, but there isn't quite enough length there to trim it any shorter. So I'm just going to sort of make it so it does like a little S as it's going in, and make sure that it doesn't touch. Okay, so the existing holes here are different spacing than the two holes that are going right here. Now Ring provides specific screws that they want you to use. Again, if you don't already have the little insert, I can show you what that looks like. One of these. In the instructions it says what size hole you would drill and you would drive that in. And that's only if you have masonry or some sort of like concrete siding. If you have wood or just regular like cement board siding, you can run the screw straight in without using that insert. Okay, I'm going to peel down this protective cover and run this screw in the top here. I don't really like how that's hanging. I think because what happens when I tighten this one, it sort of pulls the bottom up, and now we've got a gap here. I think I might look into screwing a hole through this brick to secure it better. Okay, we got the power back on now, so you can see it's starting to initialize, but we still need to take care of this bottom mounting. And because if it's tight, it sort of has this gap down here that we don't want. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit so that it sits kind of flat on this brick here. And then I'm gonna sort of line it up, make sure it's vertical, and then I'm gonna just drill a small hole right through this other mounting screw. Okay. At least we can see now where the hole got started, so I can keep working on that. All right, going up one drill bit size. We weren't making a lot of progress with the 5/64, so we're going to use a 3/16, which is still just undersized for the outside of the screw. I know the technical way is to add one of these plastic inserts. I'm going to try and just get away with using a drill bit right into the brick so we can minimize the damage in case we ever wanted to revert back to the old doorbell if my mother-in-law doesn't like it, or if this fails and we need a different model. We'll see how it works though. Okay. So this is not the exact right way to do this, but even if it doesn't work, having that smaller pilot hole is a good idea, because that'll help us drill the 1/4-inch hole to put the insert in. I'm just going to see if this screw can kind of grab on at all, and we can sort of cheat the installation here. Nice, looks like it's working. Let's see if we got enough depth though. Snugs up right about there. That might do it, because we got enough thickness on the plastic that that gap might be taken up by the camera. Sweet, let's see if this works. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put the screws in now. I kind of started them here. Because this top has a bit bigger gap and the bottom is going to pull up against this brick, I'm going to start with the bottom. We'll tighten it up against the brick here, sort of thumb and index finger, kind of snug. And that feels pretty good. It's nice and stable. And then on the top, you know, we don't want to drive it all the way home because you have this gap. You would end up breaking the plastic of the doorbell. So I'm just going to sort of thumb and index finger, kind of go snug. It doesn't have to be too crazy. You know, of course, we're just going to be having people press on the doorbell inward, and it's not going to take a lot of force. So yeah, these feel nice and snug. This is mounted securely, and I feel pretty good about that. The next thing I'm going to do is take a lint-free cloth and just try and get all this dust off of it. There's this little button on the side that I think you can press and hold maybe.
Now in setup mode. Follow the instructions in the Ring app.
The next thing we'll do is go inside and set it up on the Ring app. Okay, next step is to go into the Ring app on your phone, and if you want to scroll down until it's where it says set up new device, right there at the bottom, right above the red box, and then you select the device that you want to set up. So this is the doorbell. And so now you'll scan the QR code. So there was the one on the side of the unit. There's also one on the bottom of the box, and also this quick start guide. You can use any of them. So I think you have to hit the blue button at the bottom of the app first. And then scan it.
Where'd it go? There it is.
Right. Yep, and then hit continue.
Front door?
Yeah. I already removed the protective film. Yes, it's been installed. Yes, I installed the jumper cable. Next we'll need the Wi-Fi.
Did I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Turn on location access for Ring app. Do I need to do that?
I don't think you need to. You can hit skip. So let me go out there and look if the light is spinning. Okay, so hit got it at the bottom.
Light is spinning,
I
white.
think so.
Join Wi-Fi network.
If it's not spinning, I can run back out there and press the button again. Yeah.
The 2.4, but we also have a 5.
Yeah, the
Will it go back
most
and
of these
forth?
devices will only run on 2.4.
Oh,
So you'll have to use that one.
that's good to know, because more often than not, we're on the 5.
Yeah, most like your laptops and phone, everything can use this extra speed from the 5, but a lot of these smart home devices can only use the 2.4. Okay,
Oh,
this is just
nice.
asking for a bunch of like,
Do I just say
yeah,
got
just
it?
go through got it.
Ooh.
Success.
So that's gonna let me see. Invite shared users. You want to see our front door?
That's okay. You can skip for now, but like if you wanted to add Tom,
Oh, he probably doesn't want it.
I skip that for now. I don't know why you would need that.
So I don't want motion now.
Yeah, we can optimize that later. Let's just do skip and see if it pulls up the camera and make sure it's all working. It's gonna have the, looks like it's installing an update.
Yeah.
Push that on, sort of snap it into place. And then it has a little security screw at the bottom, which is, it's got a Torx head with a little like kind of pin in the middle, so that you can't just use your run-of-the-mill Torx driver to get it off. And then they provide this little driver to go with it. So you run this up from the bottom. Snug that up. Okay, we are all installed here and looks pretty good. Well, that wraps up our Ring doorbell wired installation. Hopefully some of that was helpful to you. Just a couple takeaways. The first thing to note is the doorbell that is existing in your home will no longer work with this product. And I was kind of shocked by this. I tried a bunch of troubleshooting. I tried removing the jumper,
and I ended up calling Ring, and basically what they told me is it's not actually a switch when you press the button. They only have it wired for power. So effectively it makes that existing mechanical doorbell useless other than passing the power through, which is kind of annoying to me. They do make a model called the Pro version that can actuate the mechanical style doorbells. But the solution we ended up going with was buying a separate chime unit that is made by Ring. It plugs into an outlet and you set it up through the app so that it activates when you press the doorbell. So prior to getting that, the doorbell itself, like exterior of the house, makes some noise. It's not really loud enough to kind of hear throughout the house. And then also, if you have the notifications on your phone, you know, that will alert. But otherwise, without buying that chime or the Pro model, you know, you're stuck not having the mechanical chime. Yeah, hopefully this was helpful. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.